base as being sort of fundamental building blocks. One of the other underlying patterns in jiu-jitsu is hip dominance, right? Like what we're generally trying to do is pass the guard so we can get past someone's legs. And the reasoning behind that is simple. The legs are the strongest mechanisms in my body, right? Like your arms compared to your leg strength are pretty minimal. So if I get past your legs, I'm dealing with half your body, and then I can dominate your hip. Once I can dominate your hip, your entire center of gravity and core strength goes away. So now I'm just isolating pretty much like your chest and upper arms, and I like to choke you or break your arm. You know, simple stuff. So if I have access to my hips, my core, I'm always going to be more effective than if I don't. So for example, if you go on your let's say you arm drag me and you start going to my back. You're here and you're right. So you see how he's up? My hip is free right now. And now you won't usually see these kinds of things until you've been training for a while, but as you start to take my back, I'm on. Because I was in base, you temporarily were not in base. This is a very common thing. Like one of the things you learn when you start jiu-jitsu is like never turn your back on your opponent. And if you see someone's back, man, jump on it. And that's true, but it's a very it's an oversimplification of the situation. When my hips are free, I always have avenues to escape. So if you can, once I get here, if I'm dealing with a good guy, I know that the second I let go of his hips, or I allow him to move, he's going to start trying to get away. So for example, let's say I just arm drag you, and now I'm going to go to behind your back. Fingers. Shit. That was easy for him. As soon as I let go of his hips, he's gone. But if I go here and here, now I'm going to go take him back and defend yourself. See what I mean? I kept the attachment to his hips the whole way. I took him out of base first, and then I went for his back. So the way that this relates to the position I'm talking about is, if I'm in base, posture and structure, check those three boxes. He's in base, posture and structure. I have to uncheck at least one of those boxes for him before I attack him. And that's true for every position. People think, oh, I'm on your back, I'm winning. Yes, but not by as much as you think. Like, we'll go over it a little bit in different positions, but this principle applies everywhere in jiu-jitsu. If I'm, let's say you're on the back, if I'm in side mount, right now, he's got good base, he's got contact with the floor, right? He can generate force. His posture is lined up, his structure is lined up. If I try to, like, I'm gonna attack you, I want you to just defend yourself, you guard if you can. The second I went after him, he escaped, because I didn't address posture, structure, or base before I attacked him. Regardless of the position you find yourself in, you have to have posture, structure, base. You have to deny it to your opponent before you attack. Or if they're any good, they're going to get away right away. Does that make sense? So if you come back to journal for me. So when you've completed the arm drag here, we're going here and here to create attachment to his hip. And then the next step is going to be, once you're kind of more comfortable with the arm drag motion, is I'm going to look to take him out of the base by blocking these two posts. Just turn a little bit here. By blocking these two posts so I can affect his base. And I'm going to drag, so I can grab the sleeve, I can grab this, I can grab this, or I can even just keep my hand out here. As long as it's not just dangling here where he can grab it. And now he's going to compromise my base and my structure. So I'm out here, I start pulling him out of base. Now I can attack him. Until you pull someone good out of base, you don't attack them regardless of how dominant the position is, because they're just going to find a way to get out. Does that make sense? So when we're dragging, we're coming here and anchoring the position first, and then the next step is going to be to use my base and my dominance of his hips to pull him out of base so I can hit my attack. Got that? That's good.